Thanks for locking in with 77 Flavors of Chicago. We're your host, Dario.
And I'm Sarah, and I hope you're ready to learn with us.
Man, today we're talking to y'all about science.
Yeah, buddy.
Gaertner Scientific Corporation. And I know y'all don't know what that is, so
Y'all
don't even
don't know
play.
what the fuck
Don't
this
even play.
is.
Don't even play.
Even if you're a scientist, you don't know what this is.
Right, I know you don't know. But
I'll bet you $100.
Right. I don't care who you are. You don't know this, man.
What is this energy?
Yeah, for real. Why we come out so hostile? Mm-hmm. Anyway, how y'all doing today? That's good.
Amazing.
That's good.
We're
we love
so
it.
happy. We're so happy for you. And if you said something bad, I am so sorry.
Yeah, I know. We don't want to condone it.
I hope you feel better.
I wish I had a womp womp. No. Don't do that.
Dario's just
I'm on that, huh?
ridiculous.
I'm on that. How you doing? What was the best part of your week?
The best part of my week. I bought this little thing that is a table for my puzzles. Mm-hmm. So the problem with, I love doing puzzles, but the reason I don't love doing puzzles is because they take up so much space on a table.
Yeah.
And the only large table we have is our kitchen table. And I just don't want to take up half the kitchen table doing my puzzle. So I always feel bad. But I bought this little thing. It's like a felt. First of all, it's felt. So these pieces don't slide around, which is amazing.
Oh, wow.
But
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But also it like packs up. So like
you keep
when you're, and you're done working on it for the day, you could just pack it up and zip it up and put it to the side.
That's good. You. So we got like several puzzles that Sarah hasn't worked on yet.
And I'm not a puzzle framer. Like once I do a puzzle, I just break it down and put it back in the box. Because I like to redo it again.
Where you gonna put all them puzzles at anyway?
People frame them.
Yeah, but where do you put them at?
They hang them up like pictures.
So it's a house with a bunch of puzzles and shit all over.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, well, I mean, to each his own.
You got like 17 lightsabers on this wall, so
first of all,
so
my lightsabers that has shit to do with this. This that's catching strays by the utmost of catching strays. Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
What was the best part of your week before you come with some smart ass shit at me?
No, what is going on? You need a reset. Hard reset.
Because every week you go
hard reset.
Because every week you go. Thanks for asking.
Hey, look, y'all. We got this hard reset thing. Me and Sarah do to each other. It's kind of domestic violence, but
don't say that.
No. All it is you kind of hard press on each other's forehead.
Yeah, like you would press a button on a computer,
but not a muff. You know, like a muff got a like action behind it. You know what I mean? Like you.
No, you just hard
just
like
boop.
it's my iMac or my MacBook, and I just
you just hard press it, and like and it's funny.
It just resets.
Whenever one of us
the person that's having an attitude. Right now. Just reset them. Boop.
Y'all gonna be like they need therapy. They all hitting each other and they calling it.
No. There's no one is getting physically hurt.
Yeah. Then this is one left.
You started it. You always started.
I did. So my best thing, y'all, I got a gravity backdrop, and I know y'all probably like, don't know what the hell a gravity backdrop. Yeah, right. It is, so basically it's the backdrop that like Vogue, GQ, Men's Magazine, all them high-end magazines, that's the backdrop that they use when they do their editorial style shots. Mm-hmm. And because I'm trying to get into it, I found out who makes them. Nobody, like regular people, I don't want to say this, but a lot of regular folks don't have them.
They're very expensive.
They are very expensive.
But they had a sale going on.
They got an sale going on, and your boy got one. I said they got a sale going on.
Oh.
Look at you.
Sound like they got Excel going on.
No. You said your brother's died.
They're like canvas.
Very much canvas.
And hand painted.
Love them.
Crazy.
Love them. Like
very
it is
beautiful.
They are gorgeous. I love it. I got a gray one. It's mid gray and mid texture. And absolutely love the style here. And so that was my highlight, because like that's like to me like one of them staple pieces. Like my camera right now is a great camera, the R6, but like, I get like the R5. That's a staple camera, right?
Yeah.
So that's like one of the pieces that I'm always gonna have for the turn. Yeah, right. I mean, like they say that. They say people gonna have you buy a backdrop like that, you have it for your whole career.
Yeah.
You don't get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like so
it's not like it's paper. Like no one is stepping on it and tearing it.
Yeah.
Like the paper backdrops, you just after a while you gotta trim it.
You gotta trim it.
Like
this is what it is.
Hefty canvas.
Yes, and it takes a while to roll up. But that was the highlight of my week. But also,
you know what would be kind of cool is if like after your career is done and you've used it for so many, cutting off a piece of it and like framing it. It's a beautiful canvas.
That's a good one. It is a beautiful canvas. Like that's a
literally
great
hand
idea.
Painted, like someone made it. Like it's a little art.
You know what I would do? Actually, now probably cut off like 1 inch just along the line, bottom, just 1 inch, and then just chop those up and make something up of it in a frame. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I like that idea. But when you're done, you got to be like,
when
this
you retire.
This is the piece from that. I'm done. I'm not doing no more. Yeah, that's it. That's a cool idea. I wonder if people doing that.
I don't know.
Or how do they commemorate shit like that? I don't know.
I'm very sentimental, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Other people are as sentimental.
let's not talk about that.
No, I didn't say emotional. I said sentimental. Or I said not sensitive.
Sarah got mad at me this morning. It kicked off this morning.
No, you kicked it off.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
But
for no reason.
You was a little sensitive.
No, I was sensitive because you were rude.
What did I say?
You know what you said.
I can't remember. I've been drinking.
Yeah, I was watching this video where a couple was doing something cute. It was like a bunch of transitions, one after the other.
I now remember.
Where she's standing in the shot and he comes and like grabs her off of the shot. And I'm literally watching a TikTok. Like I made no comment. And he goes, "No, you want to do that shit now, don't you?"
Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, if I wanted to, now I don't. And he was like, "You're being so sensitive."
Yeah, right. That was a little sensitive.
How is that sensitive?
That was a little bit much. You ain't have to go that hard.
But you also didn't need to comment. No one even asked your opinion.
First of all, I was half asleep. You didn't have to respond.
You didn't have to begin.
Well, I did.
Let's not fight online. People are going to be like, what the fuck is going on?
You said this shit is awkward. More of this.
Anyway.
More of this.
No, you guys, I don't actually care. Let's do This Week in Chicago History.
This Week in Chicago History. What you got for us?
This Week in Chicago History, y'all. June 7th, 1977, Mayor Blandick.
Michael.
I know.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just ad-libbing, you know.
Okay. Was elected to office. Most of you probably know that he served after Mayor Daley passed in 1976. He was acting mayor, and then in 77 he actually was elected, and then he ran again in 79 but did not win.
You know what's crazy is I was about to give him the coin, and I didn't want to give him the coin.
Why?
He's part of the Democratic machine.
Oh yeah,
he was the one that kind of like screwed over Mayor Jane Byrne.
Go listen to the Jane Byrne episode. You learn a little bit more about him.
We talked about that a little bit right there. Yeah,
we did a little bit.
Yeah. So I want to give him, but whatever. Yeah, that's the This Week in Chicago History. So
is he still alive?
Hell no. What you mean?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. Some people age.
No. Old boy died 2002. My graduation year.
That's not that long ago.
Man, 23, 21 years ago. 22 years ago. it's a bit. It's a bit ways ago.
Yeah.
Y'all. So let's jump into the episode today. How much time did we just bullshit on that? Oh, that's not bad.
For you,
that's not bad. 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's
usually 10 minutes I cut off.
Yeah, 10 to 11.
Yeah, 10 to 11. So today's topic is actually really cool because
very cool.
This is one that Sarah found on her walks. And
Campbell and I like to go on long walks.
Yeah. So she found this.
And so I found a random building that just said Gaertner on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and then it had a little plaque that said, "This is a centennial building." And I was like, what is this? And I just took a picture of it, and we kept walking. And then I came home and I did a little bit of research. And it took me a while to find some information on it because it talked a lot about the company, but I had no idea how to like dig more. And usually it's like I literally type keywords into Google and I get all the information. Mm-hmm. This one took a couple search engine requests per se. And NASA was the main website that I actually learned majority of this information from.
Crazy.
And because they had like some form of an obituary that was a few pages long about the person that we're going to talk about today. And so, it was very cool. I didn't understand most of it when I first read it. It's like I had to Google every other word, and you'll see why in a second. But I thought it was very interesting, and it was a cool story to tell. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's just proof in the pudding that there's literally history everywhere around the city, and we just don't talk about it.
You know those like if you walk by a building and you see a name etched in stone, that is probably related to something.
Yeah.
It's probably like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like a factory or something like that.
It's like rumbling or something, like thunder. What's going on? Now it's gone.
I don't know.
Am I tripping?
No, I hear it. I hear it.
Okay, all right. Like, my bad. I'm listening to you, but I'm like losing my mind. I know I've been drinking.
No, I hear it.
All right, okay. Well,
it's like when we move. It makes sense. Anyway, I'm sure people listening can't hear it.
Then now they're gonna be listening to it. Fuck y'all.
Today we're talking about William Gaertner. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. Gaertner.
Yes, Gaertner.
Yeah. And he basically who he was he was born in Germany, and at the age of 16 he was very interested in science, and so he started to apprentice at a lab or like a shop that made instruments. And when I first read instruments, I was like, what kind of instruments? We'll tell you in a second.
Right.
And so he apprenticed for about 4 years, and then for 5 years he traveled all over Europe and did some jobs and apprenticeships in different parts of the continent.
Yeah.
I was like, country, continent. He worked for something at Kraft and Sons in Vienna and Repsold and Son of Hamburg, and he somewhere in University of Prague and in London and Rotterdam. Damn. He was all over the place.
I wonder if we can go and find some of that shit.
I'm sure.
I bet you.
Yeah. His work is still preserved in a lot of places, and we'll talk about that in a second. But in 1889, he moved to the United States, and he was hired by Buff and Berger in Boston, who made surveying instruments. And if you don't know what surveying instruments are, the way I picture it is, like the person standing on the corner when they're about to like build something or do some like street renovations. It's like a little tripod and they have a machine on it, and you're like, what is going on? It looks like a laser could come out of it. That's basically what it is. They're like measuring surfaces using light.
That's different.
Basically,
I never knew.
Is how I understand it. My uncle works in construction.
He's a surveyor?
He is not a surveyor, but he worked with a ton of surveyors. My dad was also an engineer, so like that's how I understand surveying, is like measuring things with like.
Do you want to learn more about wine?
Or do you just want to feel a little more comfortable ordering a bottle in your favorite restaurant?
Or do you just need something to make you laugh on the way to work?
I'm Joel, and I'm here with Colin and Aaron on the Stop Wasting Your Wine podcast.
We're three longtime buddies on a mission to make wine fun and approachable.
Wine can be intimidating, confusing, and judgy, and we're here to help.
Each week, we're diving into the world of wine and helping you find the best bottles while staying within your budget.
So grab a glass, and let's turn your wine woes into wine wows.
Wow, that was bad. Join Stop Wasting Your Wine on our wine journey and listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
I was literally today years old, or this episode old.
Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I understand.
No, I believe you because I trust my lady.
After about a year, he was employed by the U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey.
Should we?
Geodetic.
You sure?
Yes.
I bet you it's
Geodetic.
Geodetic?
Yeah, it's literally
how you spell it?
Geo.
Geo.
DETIC.
TIC?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
No. Hold on.
You just said you trust me like 5 seconds ago.
No, I do. I just want to see. You said this is bullshit. Where's the damn sound in here? All right. Let's see what this says. What is this? All right, hold on. Let me get the audio ready. Here we go.
Geodetic.
See,
oh, okay, yeah. There we go. Geodetic. All right, bet.
Told you.
No, you was right.
So, like I said, he was hired by the U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey, and he worked on a specific assignment, which was constructing the invariable pendulum.
What the fuck is that?
It basically measures gravity. Is what I understand.
How can you measure? I guess you have to measure gravity, but like
it's a pendulum.
But pendulums go side to side.
Yes.
So if it went side to side slower, then you got. less gravity.
Well, this is not a science podcast, so I'm not about to explain what all these things fucking do.
Yeah.
So you just Google them if you're interested in learning what the fuck a variable pendulum means.
Damn, somebody mad.
No.
That
In
lady gonna get
1893, he left the government and went back to Germany, and he was there for a little bit of time until he came back for the World's Columbian Exposition
Let's go.
in Chicago.
Yeah, he was like, man, I know where the party at.
Yeah, everyone knew where the party was at. It was lit.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 22 million people there.
It was a ton of people.
22 million people up in that mountain.
Yeah. And he started working with the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, and he worked for an astrophysical laboratory. And
Okay.
so he started working more with like space shit. He did. He definitely did space shit. And that kind of like introduced him to a lot of people in the industry that he would not have met otherwise, like Alexander Graham Bell.
That's crazy.
Hiram Maxim, Roland Wadsworth, like a lot of people in science. You know what's crazy is the way I read these names. I'm so used to saying them in Arabic, like with an Arabic accent, that it's so weird for me to say them in English.
Which one?
I mean, Hiram Maxim.
Say it again.
I would say Maxim, like if I were
that's
to
good.
say it in Arabic.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's fine.
It's not the correct.
I bet you that's more right than Maxim.
I don't know. Shit.
I mean, like
Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong in both languages.
you can't. You got your home native tongue. You good.
He's not Arab, so I don't know what his
Oh
name.
well, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
In 1895, he joined Yerkes Observatory, and then a year later, he was like, "I'm out of here. I'm opening up my own shop in Chicago." He was just 32.
yeah. And fun fact, y'all, if y'all don't know what Yerkes Observatory is, that's in Wisconsin. That's up in Wisconsin.
And
yeah.
he did a lot of, so when he first opened his shop, he did a lot of work for the University of Wisconsin. His first commission piece was for the university. And I'm sorry. The first piece was for the Armor Institute, and then he was commissioned to build an astrophotometer for the University of Wisconsin.
What is an astrophotometer?
Let's dissect it. Astro,
Okay.
photo.
Oh, don't do
meter.
this. Don't do this to me.
Break it down one syllable. It's fine.
I don't even think that's how you say it.
It is.
Astrophotometer. I bet.
Astrophotometer.
Yeah. What is it? Let's see. Astrophotometer. I bet astrophotometry. Hold on. How do you say this? Hold on. Listen.
Astrophotometry.
Told you.
Oh, that's for trauma. Okay. Why she say it like that?
I don't know.
The measure of intensity of light of celestial objects.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
He did a lot of, so it's basically how strong is the light coming from this celestial object. So like
Okay.
when you look
It's like
at
the sun.
basically.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Okay,
like,
that makes
and
sense.
he later went on to create the instrument that would measure the strength of the sunlight.
So a solar light, right?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
gotcha,
And
okay.
so that, like, think of it as like, then you can measure the length of the light in like light years. You can measure a ton of things, like basically how the celestial objects move. If you can measure their light in different positions, you can tell in which direction they're moving, how quickly they're moving, so on and so forth.
Okay. All right.
know?
So he was decent. He was slugged.
Of course, now that he like started working in Chicago, he had a lot of knowledge. He's 32, but he's been working for 15 years.
Right. He seemed
know
like
what
an
I mean?
old dude. Like he shouldn't be doing all this
started-
at the age of 32.
Right. He started super young.
What was you doing well, you're not 32 yet.
I'm not 32 yet.
Damn.
What were you doing at 32?
Shit, 32?
You started comedy, right?
Yeah, I did actually. Matter of fact, I was 1 year away from booking my first ever flight as an adult.
Damn.
Yeah, I was 33, y'all. Y'all don't say shit. But it's all good. Your boy was I was locked into the corporate America, the rat wheel. Okay, cool.
Well, look at you now, a world traveler, though.
You know what I'm saying? World traveler and world podcaster. What's up?
But yes, after he opened up his shop, people started learning that there's this man making instruments in Chicago, and he started working a lot with the University of Chicago. He made a lot of astronomical instruments for them, and 2 years after he opened his shop, he started exporting his instruments. Up until that point, you only imported those instruments from other parts of the world because there was just not that knowledge in the States.
Yep.
And so this was the first time in history that people were actually exporting instruments, and it was him. He was making them. When he opened his shop, it was just him and an apprentice, and that was it.
You know what's wild about that? he was in America when doing this.
Yeah.
And he had came from Europe.
Right.
And he's importing it back, exporting it back home. That's crazy. What a way to start a business.
Right.
That's the American dream.
Yeah. Crazy. He obviously kept getting more and more popular. One of the people that really supported him later became the president of MIT.
Damn.
And a lot of his work was word of mouth. So like you learned about him because someone that you know had gotten something, an instrument made by him, right? So like once the universities learned that, oh, this man is making the stuff for other universities.
Yeah.
That's how his business grew.
Is it just me or is it like these scientific instruments are word of mouth type of thing? That's not something that's work like,
because like how many people are like,
hey bro, you got to seal us that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, think of it as like it's a small community of scientists that are like doing this work.
Right.
And so there aren't that many people manufacturing that. So like and a lot of the pieces were commission pieces. So he's not just mass producing and shipping out everything. He's probably making a couple different instruments.
What year are we talking about here?
This is like 1920.
Okay.
20,
so reason why I bring that up is because word of mouth. You got train happening right now.
1910, I would say. This is probably closer to 1910.
You still got train.
Yeah.
The early stages of train travel and shit. Well, not even really early stages. They in the thick of it right now. You know what I mean? Like train is like kind of like their way of like getting around.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And so that was the word of mouth.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Wow.
In 1910, he made an instrument, he obviously was already making astrophysical instruments, but he was commissioned by the International Geodetic Association to make a photographic zenith telescope. And basically that kind of measured the variations of latitude. And so, do you know what latitude is?
Don't do that.
Okay, I'm just
don't do that. Hold on. What the hell?
I'm just checking. A lot of people actually doubted that he could do this, but his instrument was extremely precise. It was so precise that the U.S. Naval Observatory still has that instrument today.
They still got it?
They still got it.
What's the name of
it? The instrument that he made?
Yeah. What's that?
It is the Photographic Zenith Telescope.
Photographic. I gotta look down as I type, y'all. Zenith.
Dari types 30 words a minute.
Hey man, hey look, this is hard reset. What'd you say? Photographic
Zenith Telescope.
Zenith Telescope. So they're gonna be like, we hear the keys.
Beep 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 boop, beep beep boop, beep beep beep.
All right, let's see what this thing look like. Photographic
Hit images.
Images. All right, here we go.
There it is.
So it's just a telescope.
Correct, but yes, but it's a very fancy telescope.
It's a very fancy telescope.
Yeah, it measured the variations of latitude.
So I wonder how?
I don't know.
The variations of latitude, were there multiple?
Yes.
So no, I know it's multiple latitudes.
No, just one latitude.
No, I'm talking about like were there multiple of these?
No, there was not multiple.
So how did he know?
So Dr. Frank,
he was smart.
Dr. Frank E. Ross is the guy that made the plans for this telescope, and he built it. And William built it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Crazy.
Hold on, listen to this. Here we go. Check this out. Here we go. The photographic zenith tube is a telescope permanently mounted in a precisely vertical position. The light from a star passing almost directly overhead is refracted by the lens, reflected from the perfectly horizontal surface of a pool of mercury.
Yeah.
And brought into focus.
Yep.
Wow. So it just waits for shit to pass in front
Basically,
of it.
that's most of what the instruments that he built, how they function. There was a lot of mirrors, a lot of lights, a lot of it's literally you're measuring celestial objects pass over
Yeah.
with their light over this mirror kind of thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's
so wow. So
I didn't
you
even
had,
think people needed that.
man, for real. Well, and think about the waiting game that you had to play with that. You got to
Right.
wait till something pass over and then for it to.
Well, it's pretty quick. I feel like with the rotation of the Earth, like a day, you could
Wait.
probably see something.
Well, yeah, but you got to wait that day, and you got to.
Somebody got to sit there and watch.
Right. How does that data get recorded? Mm-hmm. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it. That's
Yeah.
wow.
During the First World War, he acquired an optical shop that his one of his friends owned, and so he needed to expand. He was working a lot. He was making a lot of new instruments. He was doing a lot of research, doing a lot of commission work, and so he had to move. In 1923, he incorporated and changed the name to the Gaertner Scientific Corporation, and he moved to 1201 Wrightwood Avenue.
Yeah, buddy.
In Lincoln Park, which is now actually a what is it, like a residential building?
Repurpose residential. Mix. It's not mixed use, but
not
it's
just
residential. Yeah.
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 But yeah, he was very interested in astronomical instruments. He made things like the celiostats, the heliostats, the spectroheloscopes, the solar cameras, prism transits, zenith transits, all types of instruments that I have no idea what they do or what they are.
Doing way
they
too
all
much.
look the same to me, and they all look like they do the same shit to me. But yeah.
I would say to add a little bit more, because I did Sarah, she did the heavy lifting this time. But so when he moved
I don't like how you added this time.
okay, well, she did heavy lifting.
Period.
Like, I ain't say nothing.
You said this time.
Well, you nitpicking your boy. You like picking on drunk people. I ain't even drunk,
I
first
do.
of all. Like,
You've said you're drunk twice.
no.
now.
I could go to sleep though.
You like mixed alcohols, and I feel like
did.
that's worse than being drunk.
That is. Well, here's the thing. If I stay on me specifically, if I stay on one color,
You're
I'm good.
fine. Yeah.
I'm good.
The second you mix in other things
Y'all just
or do shots, those are
That's it.
your
shot
KOs.
is woo. Yeah, that's a knockout punch. A shot, I'm done.
Yeah, a shot is.
I can do brown liquor straight. I can't do white liquor. I can't clear liquor. I can't do it.
yeah.
I can't do it. But hard brown liquor, I got you. Now here's the thing. What we did, I had a Sazerac,
which was like an entire glass of whiskey.
man, and that was way too
Or
much
Sazerac.
Sazerac in there.
Sazerac,
Way too much. But then I had a glass of wine.
A big glass of wine.
Big glass of wine, heavy handed. God damn, your boy. All right, anyway. 1924, your boy. He started creating oxygen regulators. Now, here's why I like hard pivot, because so he had been creating these celestial type of things, right? But then he got into like heavy into aeronautics for altitude and flying objects, things like that.
He started working with the government.
He started working with the government a whole bunch. And so he made these oxygen regulators used by the Air Force. And oxygen regulators obviously let them know how much, they could withstand being that high in the sky.
Yeah.
But then a year later, 1925, dude made the Estepee bomb site. And now, if you don't know what that is, and so the bomb site in general was just something for, think bombs, right? Planes, fighter planes. So when they drop a bomb on, wherever they want to, it can calculate and track where the target is, where they want to land. He created the Estepee, and Estepee is, I don't know what Estepee means, but it was his version. And so it was a very accurate version of that and the calculations that it made. So that was used by the Army, Navy, Air Corps, and others. Yeah, the Air. I don't know why I said that.
Air Force?
Air Force. Yeah, there you go. But speaking of wartime, here's something very interesting about that building that he was in and all the other buildings that he had. For both world wars, his buildings were used to create more instruments for the given war. Yeah. Now, here's why that's significant, is because it was done in secrecy, because he had been shipping out, like Sarah had been saying, she had been shipping out this stuff to other countries, and now is wartime.
Yeah.
Both times. And so he used all those buildings to create secret labs, basically, so that they can, create these instruments. So if you are living in 1201 Wrightwood, you are living in a secret base.
Yeah,
World War I and II.
Yeah.
Where he created this stuff. So that's pretty cool. Not pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. War is not fun, but like that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. So that's kind of the piece there. After he continued, right? He continued to be who he was. Here's where some interesting facts come in. So right before he kind of passed away, the University of Chicago, actually 1947, up until that point, 80% of equipment, instruments made around the world, like in the United States, were made right here in Chicago.
Yeah.
80% were made right here in Chicago. So that's how big it was. And the reason why I bring that up is because, 48, he passed away, and his work, somebody needed to kind of give his work, keep hold of his work. In his will, he put that the University of Chicago is one that's going to inherit kind of his patents, his work, and all the science behind it. But he had a stipulation. They had to wait 21 years after he passed to fully get all the rights and be able to kind of like make their own decisions with stuff. And so I guess we could have a part 2 to this. But so that's pretty interesting. But long story short, he lived to see a ton of awards. Right. He won all kind of
gold medals
and
shit.
And honorary.
When you work for the government, they be just handing out.
Yeah, they was like, thank you, bro. We won that one. You know what I'm saying? My man.
You did that.
Yeah.
You're going crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So he kind of went on for in history as like a GOAT here. But very interestingly enough, that's here in Chicago. Yeah. It's a story that you never hear. I've never heard it in Chicago. The research, the research to do this is just out of control. Sarah, we had to go to NASA to get this information about somebody from.
And the company still exists, by the way. There's a bit of history on the company's website. They still make instruments.
Gaertner Scientific Corporation.
And they're based right outside of Chicago.
Yes.
And I did try to reach out to them and be like, hey, can we please, do you have any like cool things you can share with us? We'd love to come.
It was like, but we got to kill you. That's what they were.
I did not hear I did not hear back from anyone. I didn't have like a direct contact. I just emailed the website information thing, which was like, what instrument would you like to buy? What company are you from? I was like, actually, I am a host of a podcast.
They're going to get back to us and be like, yo.
Well, if they do, we'll make a part 2 and share some behind the scenes stuff. That would be very cool.
Very fun.
Because this is just like the research that we found. I'm sure there's a ton more information and detail. But I don't know. I really enjoyed, like, I love finding random things and then like going down a rabbit hole and learning so much about it.
There's 77 flavors of Chicago.
Yes,
that's what
and there's so much more. By the way, we have like 3-4 episodes planned coming up that are just like this, where it's like you will not believe the connection.
There's one. Really, all of them actually. Actually, you're right. All 3 of these coming up, you're gonna be like, get the fuck out of here.
Literally.
Like, wow.
And I can't wait for you to be shocked.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm done.
Yep. That is all we have for you today. If you did enjoy this episode, please consider supporting us by sharing, liking, commenting, rating the episode. It truly, truly helps us. It costs you $0 money.
$0.
But actually helps us so much when we try to get the big corporations to pay us. So do that.
The Gaertner Corporation.
And if you have any ideas, any things you want to learn more about that you'd love for us to tell the story, please reach out to us at media77flavorsshy.com. You can always DM us on Instagram. You can always tweet us, whatever. And we'll see you next Monday.
That's right.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you loved it.
And if you could, please follow us on social media at 77 Flavors Shy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you have any ideas or deep dives that you'd love us to do, please contact us at media@77flavorsshy. That's the number 77 flavors and shy for Chicago.com.
If you like visuals, please subscribe and follow and watch us on our YouTube channel at the same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, or search 77 Flavors of Chicago.
If you would like to support us monetarily, go ahead and click that Buzzsprout link in the description of this episode.
And as always, we gonna see you next week. Peace.